Let's get you back to your forecast now with meteorologist Lauren Brand.
Well, Bree, like we've been saying all morning, we are off to a very chilly start this morning, and this was that low pressure system that we saw move through overnight, and that's what dumped all of that snow on us. But we saw snow here, and that brought severe weather to Oklahoma and the plains, so it just shows how massive this system is and how much it affects the different states. Now, if you are headed out the door this morning, 29 degrees to start off your morning, so you're going to need that warm layer, that jacket, and that winter hat. But you will be able to shed it for the springs as we go on throughout the day. We'll eventually get into those 50s and eventually 60s as we go throughout the afternoon for Pueblo. As for those snow totals that we saw 3.2 inches up in Black Forest, 1.5 on the north side of the springs. Though if you were on more of the west side and the south side, we saw more of about ½ an inch for those snow totals. So it was very dependent on where you were throughout the springs. That higher elevation definitely saw a little bit more snow on the ground. But as we look at the rest of today's forecast, those highs for today, Colorado Springs 53 degrees, and we'll eventually see that sun come out for the day. Pueblo 60 degrees, so we will be warming up pretty nicely. So that is good news for those trick-or-treaters, and if you are headed out for the day. As for that trick-or-treating forecast, we will start off to a beautiful start. We will be around 50 degrees for the springs, though just a little bit warmer for Pueblo, around 59 degrees, and we'll have those same conditions for both the springs and Pueblo. We'll just start off a little bit warmer for Pueblo, but we will both eventually get down into those lower 40s, so those layers will be needed for those Halloween costumes. As for the allergy report, we are still tracking that weed in the air, that ragweed specifically, but that storm that came through last night definitely helped to taper things down just a little bit for us. As for those highs elsewhere for today, upper 50s and some lower 60s for the plains, and for the mountains, some lower 50s and some upper 40s out there as well. So a little bit of a chillier day for the mountains, and as we look at those overnight lows, most of us getting down into those 30s again, and some of us even those 20s like Pueblo. As for the next 7 days, will be 53 degrees for your Halloween today. Again, we'll see the sun come out for the day in the afternoon. This is what your day planner is looking like. We are still declining with that temperature, so we will get down into those upper 20s for the low. Eventually getting into those 60s by Sunday, but we are looking at our next potential snowmaker Sunday night and into Monday. As for Pueblo, 60 for your Thursday, and Halloween will eventually warm up as we go on throughout this weekend, and we'll see the sun come out here and there throughout the rest of this week and into the weekend. But again, I have that snow rain mix right now for you guys. Again, this could very well change by the time that we get there. Canyon City, 60 for your Halloween, eventually getting into those upper 60s by your Sunday, and we'll eventually get into those 50s. As for Woodland Park, we'll be in those 50s, so just a little bit cooler than everybody else.